You know that little notification that pops up on your computer, right? Update required. And what's our first instinct? Hit remind me later. It's almost muscle memory at this point.
But have you ever really stopped to wonder what's going on behind the scenes with all those updates? Why are they so constant and so urgent? Well, the answer to that question peels back the curtain on a hidden, high-stakes world, an invisible war being fought with weapons made of code. But I gotta give you a heads up. The information we're about to get into, it's a bit of a rabbit hole. The answer to that simple question is a whole lot darker than you'd think. And once you see how this world really works, well, you can't unsee it.
Okay, so the reason for all those urgent updates, the thing that powers this entire hidden market, it has a name, and it's called a zero-day.
So what is a zero-day? Think of it as a secret backdoor. It's a vulnerability, a crack in the code of your phone, your laptop, your apps that the software developers themselves don't even know exists, which means they've had exactly 0 days to build a patch, leaving that door completely unlocked and wide open.
And the power of a zero-day is just immense. This isn't your everyday virus. It's a digital skeleton key. Your antivirus software, totally useless. I mean, how can it detect a threat that nobody knows exists? This allows a hacker to slip into almost any system on Earth, a phone, a corporate network, even a nation's power grid, and stay completely invisible, sometimes for years.
Now, an exploit this powerful is, you can imagine, incredibly valuable. And anytime there's something that valuable, a market is going to pop up around it. So let's take a look at how this all got started.
You know, in the beginning, it was all about curiosity. Back in the 90s, hackers would find these flaws and actually try to warn the big tech companies. But instead of thanks, they got threatened with lawsuits. The companies saw them as criminals. So this created some resentment. Then in 2003, a company called iDefense saw a business opportunity and started paying for these bugs. But it didn't take long for them to get outbid. Suddenly, government agencies and mysterious brokers started showing up, offering life-changing amounts of money for the exact same flaws, with one very important condition: keep it a secret.
So you see what happened. The entire game just flipped. What started as a community of curious techies trying to make things better, it morphed into a professional, highly secretive industry all about profit. The goal was no longer about fixing the hole, it was about selling it to whoever would pay the most to keep it open.
And secrecy is absolutely everything. A zero-day exploit is only valuable as long as it stays a secret. The moment the software maker finds out and pushes out a patch, one of those updates we love to ignore, the exploit becomes worthless overnight. This code of silence is the bedrock of the entire market.
Now, because these sellers usually go through brokers, they often have no idea who the final customer is. They might tell themselves they're helping their own government stop a terrorist plot, but that exact same exploit could just as easily be sold to a hostile nation to cause a catastrophe. They are, in effect, just selling the digital bullets, with no clue who the target is going to be.
Now, to be fair, the big tech companies have changed their tune. They now offer bug bounties, paying hackers to tell them about flaws. But here's the dilemma, and it shows you exactly how this market works. A company like Apple might pay you, say, $10,000. But a broker who keeps the flaws secret for their government clients will pay you hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. The incentive to sell to the shadows is just overwhelming.
Just how much are we talking about? Well, one broker, Zerodium, actually publishes its price list, and they'll pay up to $2.5 million for the absolute holy grail, a zero-click exploit. That means it can take over any fully updated iPhone or Android phone without the owner doing anything. You don't click a link, you don't open a file, nothing. It's a completely invisible, unstoppable break-in.
Okay, so this isn't just a theoretical threat. This isn't just about lines of code on a screen. These digital weapons have been used to cause very real, very physical destruction in our world.
So let's talk about Stuxnet. This is what many experts consider the moment everything changed. The year is 2010, and the target is Iran's nuclear enrichment program. Stuxnet was, frankly, a work of malicious genius. It got into a super secure offline facility on a simple USB stick. From there, it used not one, but 4 different zero days to crawl silently across the network until it found its precise target, the centrifuge's spinning uranium. It then secretly ordered them to spin so fast that they literally tore themselves apart. And here's the kicker. It played back fake data to the control room so the scientists on duty saw everything running perfectly normal while their multi-million-dollar equipment was being destroyed right under their noses.
So Stuxnet was like a targeted missile strike. But what happens when these powerful, government-hoarded weapons get out into the wild? Well, in 2017, the whole world got a terrifying answer.
WannaCry was pure global chaos. It used a super powerful exploit called Eternal Blue, which was developed by and then stolen from the U.S. National Security Agency. Hackers took this weapon and unleashed a ransomware worm that spread like wildfire. I mean, just picture it. Hospitals in the UK had to shut down their emergency rooms. Universities, police departments, and huge corporations all over the world had their data held hostage. WannaCry is the perfect, scary example of why hoarding these weapons is so dangerous. Eventually, they get out, and then they can be turned on anyone.
And the estimated cost of the damage from this one attack, which came from just one stolen government cyberweapon? A jaw-dropping $4 billion.
Now, as bad as these attacks were, they might just be the opening act, because the world we're busy building is becoming more and more vulnerable every single day.
Seriously, think about it. Everything is getting connected to the internet. Our cars, our power grids, our hospitals, our factories, every single smart device we add to the network is another potential door for a hacker to kick in. It's another potential flaw to be discovered and sold on this secret market.
We've already seen what's possible, right? We've seen code used to physically destroy a nuclear program. We've seen a different attack shut down the power grid in Ukraine, plunging an entire country into freezing darkness. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the new battlefield.
Which brings us right back to where we started. That little update notification on your screen. In a world full of secret cyber weapons and multi-million-dollar exploits, that update isn't just an annoying pop-up. It's your digital body armor. So the next time you see it, the question is, in this invisible war, is hitting "Remind me later" really a risk you're willing to take?